As we enter 2025, there's no shortage of theories surrounding what the future holds, particularly when it comes to the final prophecies found in the Bible's book of Revelation. These writings, centuries old, are more relevant than ever, with many believers claiming that the signs of the times are aligning in a way that cannot be ignored. What will happen next? Is 2025 the year that prophecies will unfold in dramatic ways? Buckle up, because the world's about to change and, according to some, it's all predicted in ancient texts. The rise of the Church of Unbelievers. There's a growing trend that cannot be ignored. Churches are increasingly populated by individuals who are more interested in social gatherings than spiritual awakening. In fact, a Pew Research Center study found that nearly 70% of Americans identify as Christian, but fewer than 50% actually attend church regularly. This represents a shift towards a cultural Christianity rather than one based on deep personal faith. Many see this as the fulfillment of 1 Timothy 4:1, which speaks of a time when people will abandon the faith for the allure of false teachings. We're already witnessing the rapid spread of New Age philosophies and watered-down spirituality, where the gospel is either ignored or outright twisted. In 2025, it's expected that we'll see a further polarization between true believers and those whose faith has been diluted by worldly distractions. Think about it. The more we see feel-good messages over genuine biblical truth, the closer we might be to what Revelation prophesied, a church that's lost its way, and the emergence of deception disguised as enlightenment, the emergence of a system that cannot be escaped. We live in an age where surveillance, tracking, and control are at an all-time high. Look no further than the rise of digital currencies, biometric tracking, and global surveillance systems. Did you know that China has already implemented a social credit system which monitors its citizens' behavior, rewarding good actions and punishing bad ones? This concept is now spreading across the globe, with companies and governments pushing for complete digital transparency. Revelation 13:17 says that no one will be able to buy or sell unless they receive a mark on their hand or forehead. While this prophecy has traditionally been interpreted literally, it is now evident that we might be inching closer to a world where your ability to participate in the economy is directly linked to your compliance with a system of control, and it's happening in real time. Whether it's digital IDs, cashless transactions, or surveillance becoming the norm, it's safe to say that the systems in place now bear an eerie resemblance to the Mark of the Beast scenario. Could 2025 be the year where such systems become fully operational and irreversible? Unparalleled deception. We live in a world where it's harder than ever to distinguish fact from fiction. Enter AI technology and deepfakes tools so advanced that they can create videos, images, and voices that are indistinguishable from reality. In fact, deepfake technology is already being used to manipulate public opinion, create fake news, and spread misinformation at a scale never seen before. This mirrors the prophecy of Matthew 24:24, where Jesus warns about false prophets and false Christs arising and deceiving even the elect. In 2025, as AI becomes more sophisticated, we could face a world where deception is rampant. Whether it's a leader who isn't who they claim to be or a prophet preaching false doctrines, the Bible's warning of deception takes on new meaning in an age where digital illusions are commonplace. What's even more concerning is that this deception won't be isolated, it will be global. As humanity increasingly relies on technology for truth, could we be heading into a reality where the line between authentic and manipulated is completely blurred? The rise in anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism has been on the rise across the globe. From hateful rhetoric to actual physical attacks on Jewish communities, the situation is growing increasingly dire. In Europe, the Anti-Defamation League reported an alarming increase in anti-Semitic incidents, some of which were directly tied to political movements or the geopolitical situation surrounding Israel. This brings us to one of the key elements of prophecy, the return of the Jewish people to their homeland. In Ezekiel 36 and 37, the Bible speaks of a time when God would bring his people back to Israel, which many believe has already begun with the modern-day restoration of Israel in 1948. The rise in anti-Semitism today could be viewed as another marker, fulfilling this part of prophecy. Could 2025 be the year that tensions surrounding Israel intensify, leading to a dramatic shift in how the world views the Jewish people and their homeland? Only time will tell, but as political and religious tensions flare, the spotlight on Jerusalem grows ever more intense. Focus on Jerusalem. Jerusalem has always been a city of great significance, and its importance is only growing. Recently, tensions surrounding Jerusalem have escalated, with countries like the United States recognizing it as the capital of Israel, much to the dismay of many other nations. The Bible speaks of Jerusalem becoming a burdensome stone in the last days, something that all nations will eventually struggle with. Zechariah 12:3 foretells that in the last days all the nations will gather against Jerusalem, creating a global conflict. Fast forward to 2025, and we see this prophecy coming closer to life, with diplomatic pressures mounting on Israel regarding Jerusalem's status. Could it be that the battle for Jerusalem's sovereignty will ignite the final stages of prophecy? As the world continues to align itself into various geopolitical factions, Jerusalem is at the heart of it all, and it's no coincidence that many prophetic voices point to this city as the epicenter of the final showdown. Ezekiel 38 players in position. The alliances forming today between Russia, Iran, and Turkey are shaping up to be critical players in the end-time scenario described in Ezekiel 38. In the Bible, these nations are predicted to unite in a coalition to come against Israel in the last days. In recent years, these nations have grown closer, forming strategic military alliances and economic partnerships. Russia, for example, has established military bases in Syria, directly bordering Israel, while Iran continues to bolster its influence in the region. Turkey, too, has taken a more aggressive stance, particularly regarding its relationship with Syria and the broader Middle East. The prophecy in Ezekiel 38 speaks of a powerful alliance from the north coming against Israel, and as we move further into 2025, the geopolitical moves of these nations suggest that they could be gearing up for just such a confrontation. With tensions high, the world is watching to see how these alliances play out, and whether they'll fulfill the biblical prophecy of a military confrontation that could change the course of history. Destruction of Damascus. In the prophecy of Isaiah 17, the city of Damascus is foretold to be completely destroyed, becoming a ruinous heap. In recent years, the city has seen constant turmoil due to the Syrian civil war. In 2025, there are increasing concerns that Damascus could be targeted in a major military conflict, especially with the involvement of foreign powers in the region. The United States, Russia, and Iran all have stakes in Syria, and this escalating tension could lead to an eventual destruction of Damascus, fulfilling the prophecy that has remained unfulfilled for thousands of years. But this prophecy goes beyond just military predictions. It serves as a reminder that the Bible contains cryptic messages of future events that we are only now beginning to understand in their full context. As 2025 unfolds, Damascus will likely continue to be a hotbed for international conflict, with the possibility of the city's destruction remaining ever present in the shadow of war. And that's it for today's deep dive into the final prophecy of Revelation. If you found this video intriguing, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future content. Stay curious, stay alert, and we'll see you in the next video.